Hello and welcome back to another episode. Now today, unfortunately, I'm feeling rather unwell, and in fact, all week I've been feeling poorly. You see, on Sunday evening, Monday morning, certainly until around about 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, I was at the local hospital's accident and emergency unit, having suffered seemingly a rather strong allergic reaction to something. We're still trying to narrow down what that was, and then an attendant infection, which I'm still not over. I've got another week to go or something like that. So it's been an odd week. It's been a week when I've been very frustrated because I hate not being able to get on with plans and make videos or whatever. I'm a bit of a workaholic, but also as well I just, it hasn't been fun. It's been painful and sore and sleep deprived and that kind of thing. So yeah, that's been my week. But nonetheless, I wanted to try and record something this week. And so I thought I'd just share with you quickly some tinkering that I've been doing here in the sort of the office / set space. These are changes which I've wanted to make for a while now, and last week I had the opportunity to do that. And it's all really just about storage and ease of access to certain items, and also just making the place make a bit more sense, as it were. So this isn't the most exciting footage you're ever likely to see on YouTube, but hopefully it's kind of interesting. Let's take a look. Okay, so the eagle-eyed amongst you will have already noticed that there's been a change to the set in the past couple of videos, and that is this Tetris lamp here, and I'll come back to that in just a moment. But first of all, I just want to talk a little bit about the shelves that I've installed above the door and also on the far side of the office, just here. And these shelves contain bits and bobs that I find useful for work. I've sort of carefully put together the different items that I use most often, the notes and this kind of thing. But it's this section here that I want to talk about really today, and that is the section for my Nintendo handheld consoles. Now, if you're anything like me, if you have the Game Boy and the DS and the 3DS and this kind of thing, you're forever, for example, playing the Game Boy Advance SP maybe in your bed, and then you leave the charger in the living room and you leave the headphones in the car, and it all basically scatters. And so I just wanted somewhere central and sensible to store these items so that I could find them quickly. The same goes for the games, actually. With the Game Boy games, I was finding that I was leaving them in the living room, in the car, in the office. They were just everywhere. And so actually now, just having a series of simple Tupperware boxes, I think I finally found a solution that really works. And it works nicely because, for example, the Game Boy Micro, I don't really play very often at all. So now I know where it is, I know where its charger is, it's safely stored there. The DS Lite, I've kept that because it has the Game Boy Advance adapter, and actually it plays, for example, the Guitar Hero DS game, which the 3DS certainly can't, so that's why I've kept that. But I don't play it that often, but when I do want to play it, I know where it is. And really the same goes for the Game Boy accessories. So in here I've got a Game Genie, the Game Boy Advance to GameCube adapter cable, a car charger, an adapter that sort of gives you bigger buttons and a handle to hold on to for the SP. All this sort of stuff centrally stored, easily located, and hopefully never scattered again. So that's the first area where I've been tinkering in the past couple of weeks. And the second area is the electrics, or more precisely, how and where these items here, like the Tetris lamp, the orb and the LEDs back there, get their power. This office has a bit of a problem. The only two electrical inlets for the whole room are located down here by the door. And last year I did have a new panel put in with USB outputs. But historically, I've tried to keep the right-hand socket clear to use for lighting and other random things, and the left-hand socket leads to a 5-meter cable, which runs around the room all the way behind the bookshelf here, behind that set of shelving there, behind the computer and the desk, and to a roll-up extension cable just here. And from there, what I used to do is have another daisy chain, a power extension cord going along the wall and then behind this bookshelf to the lighting here. And that's always struck me as deeply, well, potentially dangerous, but just deeply unsatisfactory. So, along with the shelving, what I decided to do was scrap that, and instead I installed an extension cable that runs from there along this wall here. It's the shortest route, it just makes sense, I guess, to here. And this is now where I power these lights from. And also, crucially, I have 2 extra sockets now over there. It may just sound like common sense, but it's taken me a few years to figure it out. But I feel much happier now. Now I can come into the office and I can just turn on one of those sockets and I'm either powering, as it were, my computer and my office stuff, or I'm powering the lighting and the other things over here. It just makes more sense. It's odd, isn't it? It's odd how you have to live with unsatisfactory situations sometimes in order to fix them. So there you have it. Fairly short and sweet, but realistically that's all I could manage this week. Nonetheless, hopefully you found it kind of useful, in so much as I'm sure I'm not alone in struggling with how to adequately store, in particular, those handheld games machines, along with their power adapters and maybe computer games and accessories, in a way which is both accessible and also comprehensively stored, as it were. And as I was saying, I used to find myself in a situation where the Game Boy would be upstairs, the charger would be downstairs, there'd be games in the office, in the bedroom, in the living room. There'd be, it was a bit chaotic. And so now, finally, after a bit of thought and some careful implementation, I've got some sort of solution there, and so I'm quite happy with that up there. And then the other changes I've made, really, they've been sort of floating around in my head for a while. And primarily it's all just been about making the space a bit safer and making it make a bit more sense as well, rather than daisy chaining a heck of a lot of electricity around the whole room, Anyway, guys, as I say, hopefully this has been interesting. As ever, until next time, do take care. Bye bye.